Welcome back to my kitchen. Let me tell you something, Mimi has been jamming this summer. I've been rocking it. I have been making all kinds of jams. I made strawberry back in April. I've made peach. I've got my corn cob jelly going on. And then I just recently made some blackberry jam. And I'll show you how to do that in a few moments. And that's for my husband. That's his favorite jam. When we go to Cracker Barrel, he always wants the blackberry jam. But I've created a Mimi's Jam Session playlist. So go there and you can find all the recipes for these jams. And I'm going to be adding to that playlist. I'm going to be making some fig jam. I've got my fig tree loaded. I've got mint in the garden, so I want to do some mint jelly. Watermelon jelly, that's new to me. And carrot cake jam, that just sounded so good. And of course in the fall we'll make apple jam. So, and blueberry jam, I haven't made that yet. I want to make that. But I just make one recipe to stock up my cupboard. And you know, I've got 6 grandkids, so I'm certainly going to be sharing this bounty with the grandkids so that they can have it with their peanut butter sandwiches. But anyway, I just wanted to get started this summer really stocking up on the jam. And it's perfect for beginner canners because you don't have to pressure can this. It's water bath. So if you're a beginner canner, I would highly recommend you start with jams. So let's get busy jamming. Check out my playlist. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can know when I'm making a new jam and adding that to the playlist. So thank you so much for watching. Please, if you've got any questions, leave those in the comment section. And if you have any really good jam recipes, please let me know. I'd love to try it. So thank you. Let's get started making some blackberry jam. First thing you're going to need is 2 quarts of really nice ripe blackberries. And I bought these at my favorite produce stand. They were $8 a quart, but they were delicious and there wasn't a rotten one in the quart. Very good blackberries. So you're going to need blackberries, and then you're going to need 6 cups of sugar, and that's it. You do not need pectin for this recipe. So I've got some jelly jars there. I've got my potato masher, and we're going to get busy getting these blackberries washed. But first, I'm going to refer to my ball guide to preserving, and the recipe for this is on page 49. And this is the same recipe you can do with blueberries or raspberries. It's the same idea. So the first step is to wash the blackberries. So I just kind of rinse them off really well, and then I'll spin them in my salad spinner to get all the extra moisture off. But they were very clean, and there wasn't a rotten one at all in this batch. Very good blackberries, and they tasted so sweet. This is my husband's favorite jam, so I'm real excited to make this for him. So that's basically it. We're just going to wash these up. Now I do have over on the stove, my jars have been washed and they're sitting in hot water getting sterilized. And so I'm just going to spin these really good and make sure there's no dirt or debris on there, and then we'll be ready to start cooking the jam. Now the next step is to pour them in a large pot, and I did 1 quart at a time, and with my potato masher I'm just going in and just mashing the berries. You want to crush the berries first before you start cooking them. So 1 quart at a time, I just took this potato masher and just mashed those berries. Very easy. And then once I got this layer mashed, I just poured in the 2nd quart of washed blackberries, and then I started mashing those. Now after they're all mashed, I take the big pot over to the stove, and I'm going to add in the 6 cups of sugar. And that is all you need for this recipe. So I'm taking a big spoon and I'm just going to stir that and keep stirring it until all that sugar has dissolved. I do have my heat on medium, and I'm going to bring it slowly to a boil, and I'm going to keep stirring until the sugar dissolves. Then once the sugar dissolves, I increase the heat up to medium-high, and I start to cook it rapidly to get to the gelling point. And then I have a thermometer that I can dip into the hot liquid, and it gives me the temperature. And you want to cook this stirring constantly until it reaches 220 degrees. That is the jam set stage. So once you reach that, you can take your pot off the stove, and it's nice and thick. It's got that jelly consistency, and we can go ahead and start putting it in the jars. So one at a time, out of the hot boiling water, I take my jelly jars out, and I'm just going to be ladling in the jam. Now, I did leave the seeds in this jam. If you wanted to take it a step further and strain off those seeds, you could, but I did leave the seeds in the jam. Same process as before. You're going to debubble, and then you're just going to wipe the rim and put on the lid and the ring. Very easy process. Now the lids are sitting in hot water, not boiling water, but hot water, and then you just put on a ring, and then I will be putting all of these back into the water bath canner. So back on the stove, I've got the water still hot, and I'm placing all the jars back into the water bath canner, and we're going to process these at a rolling boil for 15 minutes. So once the boil starts, put on the lid, and I start the timer for 15 minutes, and that's all there is to it. Blackberry jam is really pretty easy. Now you are going to need one of those thermometers because you have to get it to 220 degrees. So if you don't have a thermometer, pick one of those up before you start this process. But it turned out really good. It tastes delicious. I got 6 pints, and then I had enough left to fill a little glass container to put in the refrigerator for husband to start eating away. So there's the blackberry jam. I'm going to add that to my cupboard that's filled with delicious jams and more to come. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Stay with me because we've got lots more to come. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and welcome to all my new subscribers. So glad you're here. Thank you, and as always, have a very blessed day.